Good evening. Good evening. We're sitting here giving each other roses as you are coming in right now, hanging out with us. We're back with another amazing event for you. This time, our Minorities Mental Health is all about stress awareness, sponsored by Shepherd Pratt and NAMI. We all need this right now. I'm Perisa Nicole, one half of your host for tonight.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl, the ultimate female host, JayCee. Glad to be here tonight, sis. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be phenomenal.
Yes.
Especially with everything that has gone on in this particular last year or so. Yeah, so I'm excited.
And that's still going on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, with everything that's still going on right now, it's like it's becoming normal. And I'm scared of that.
We don't want that. No,
not at all.
No. Listen, Stress Awareness Month is here. Of course, it's recognized every April, but this year, as JC and I was saying, has been really, really different and important that we really are forced now to learn how to cope with our stress in different ways. So I'm super excited to have this conversation. We have some amazing panelists joining us tonight. Let's first start with Sierra Patterson from Shepherd Pratt. Hey, Sierra. CC, where you at? There we go.
Hi.
Nicknamed you and everything. Like, where you at, see?
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
And I guess a little bit about myself.
Yes.
Okay. So I have been working with Shepherd Pratt for about 9 years now. I just recently became an LGPC therapist after getting my master's degree at Johns Hopkins. And I'm just really excited to be able to finally be a therapist and work with people.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Girl, we need
Thank you.
We don't need nobody else right now in this life. We need you. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you say amen or did you say amen? All right.
Amen. God want to do it.
Let him in. Listen, Conscious Crusade himself, Akil Taffy, the brother, is in the building. Can we get Mr. Akil to come in to the building, please? Yes,
Akil.
sir.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Good evening, gang. Good evening.
He like yoga. He had his leg on the mic.
Oh, okay.
And I've been doing this since I was first going to school. It's Taff. The E is silent.
Excuse me. I apologize. Taff. Mr. Taff.
Thank y'all for having me here. And I'm looking forward to this discussion this evening.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Absolutely. We're excited to have you back. Akil was with us before with one of our Minorities Mental Health. So it's going to be round 2 for you. Next up, we have Gertie Wilson from NAMI. Hey, Gertie.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey.
I'm Gertie Wilson. I've been a part of NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, for 12 years now. I'm a family support group facilitator, and I'm on NAMI's Maryland board. And I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Listen, I'm just excited about your energy. You came in. Hey, we need that type of energy tonight, right? Let's round this out with 6 people. Let's make it an even 6 real quick, right? Cindy Tawai. I want to make sure I'm saying that right.
Tawia. Tawia.
Come on now. Get me right. Get me right tonight. I don't like when people mess up my name either. So come on. Right.
So my name is Cindy Tawia. I'm a former registered nurse, and I've gone from healthcare to hair care. Now have a healing center where we focus not just on mind, body, but also soul care. Not self-care, but soul care.
We'll get into that later too, because I saw you post that on your Instagram page. So we're gonna get into that soul care because that was super deep that we all need to be a part of. Let's first start this conversation off with a mental check. For all of you, have been doing this whole thing, pandemic together. I'm sure you have been going through it. It's been a little stressful for all of us in different ways. Cindy, let's first talk to you. How have you been healing through this pandemic?
Well, I do a lot of meditation, sitting quiet, music therapy. And I feel as though as human beings, we're not just a body, we have a spirit and a soul inside. So sometimes we need to allow that to heal. We need to walk through nature, connect through nature, release the pain, release the trauma. So that's how I found healing and advised other people to find healing as well.
I love it. I love it because taking a walk these days have definitely been clarity for me. So I can listen.
Barefoot in the woods. Barefoot in the woods.
Oh,
I got
barefoot too.
Listen, Akil, you had me too, brother, because I was like, I'm still trying to make sure I got the right shoes on these days.
Right. and that's one of the things I've done. Like I bought my first pair of Birkenstocks maybe about 8 years ago, and people would look at me like I'm funny. But once you walk in a Birkenstock, like you realize, like there's a difference between a comfortable shoe and a shoe that makes your feet feel good. Once you break in that Birkenstock, I mean, I get it now because, and again, this is like 7 years ago, and it was like $1.29 for some sandals. I'm like, and now slides are like, they start at $1.25. So that's one of the things. Walk barefoot, man. Barefoot too. Like, and I'm a yoga teacher as well as a seasoned industry authority. I'm a yoga teacher, and I'm learning a lot more about the feet. And actually, shoes are what kind of hampered us because our feet are made to walk on sand and grass and soil, that type of thing. So it's just, but that's like I said, that's a whole long conversation. But yeah, it is good to get a little bit of that. What do they call it? I forget the name of what they call when you walk in the woods, but that's actually beneficial for you too because you get the benefits of the nature when you're going on hikes and stuff and walking in the woods.
Yeah.
I like that. Sarah, how about you? How you been getting through this pandemic? Let's take the mental check at the top.
So actually, I was about to say, speaking of the woods, I was actually at in the mountains this weekend, just kind of getting myself back together after everything that's happened. I like to go vacation at Shenandoah National Park, and they have like this huge like resort almost, but it's cabins, and so you can kind of get in touch with nature and just be with the earth in a way. And that actually helped me so much, just kind of rejuvenating from last week to this week. So I definitely want to second that idea of being in nature, especially since we live in cities these days and we don't get a chance to be around a lot of nature.
I'd be interested to hear more about, because I'm not a nature person.
Not really.
No, I'm really a city child. I'm just going.
I wasn't at first either. I didn't like anything to do with nature. Don't like bugs. Don't like the heat. Don't like summer. I wanted to be winter where it's cold.
Right.
I realized that there is so much to gain from just being in it.
We learning already.
We're not even there yet.
No, we ain't even there.
Step outside and enjoy this conversation outside.
Listen, okay, now come on and hit us home, Miss Gertie.
Here we go. I do a lot of walking. I do a lot of walking. I'm not in the woods, but I do a lot of walking, a lot of staying in contact with friends and family, and just making sure, I'm where I'm supposed to be, in my mind, my spirit, and my soul, trying to keep in contact with myself, because isolation has a big effect on you during this pandemic. And so I've just been really communicating with family, friends, and taking those walks.
I like that. Well,
Love it. So we're gonna walk. We're gonna walk it out.
Apparently, I'm already in the right situation. Apparently, because walking has been key, and then it led to like jogging, and then I had to slow back down. So
I'm not jogging.
Excuse me, Miss Perisa Nicole. Let's tap in real quick. What's your mental check-in? What you doing these days?
So for me, I don't know what side am I on. You see my candle over here? Yeah, over there. There we go. We're over here. Yeah, back then. Okay. So I'm really about like candles, and just I love the scents. I love the whole view of a candle. I love it all. So I'm all about getting in my own space. I haven't tapped into yoga yet, Akil, but I'm gonna get there soon. But I like to be in my own space, light some candles, just have my own type of vibe. So that's what I really have been doing to help me get through this pandemic, and really just close the door, lock it, and this is just me time. Mommy time, she needs a second. So that's really what I've just been doing. Just I really have a second just for me.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Tonight is gonna be very intensive. For those people that are not very interested or think that stress. They're not stressed out, let's say it that way, or they don't have stress built up. And let's be honest, in our community as a whole, we were taught, suck it up. What you crying for? What you talking about? Right. And so, we learn how to internalize so many different things. And then this pandemic has forced us all to become vulnerable in moments. So I would love to know, I'll start with you, Cindy, what has been, because I know you start with, you tapped in with the soul, and I felt you touched mine when you said it. So I'm just curious to know, what is one thing or some things that you would recommend that we do to combat the stigma of stress not existing in the minority community?
Well, first of all, thank you for that question, JayCee. First of all, what we do is we always cover, we mask. So our hair is important, our nails are important, but we really don't reveal what we're feeling. And I always tell people the first thing when they come to see me for an intuitive healing session, which is what I primarily do at our healing center, is you can't heal what you don't reveal. Okay. And your transparency is someone's transformation. Doesn't mean you have to tell all your business, right? But you have to be vulnerable. And let's say you're in a relationship and you're not expressing what's gone on or tell the other person what's happened to you. That's not intimacy. Intimacy is intimacy. So a lot of people are walking around, they're in relationships, and they're thinking intimacy is sex. They're thinking they're not connected with their family, their friends, because they're not expressing what they truly feel. Somebody's been through trauma in the family. They're told, oh, it didn't happen. Your abuse didn't happen. The molestation didn't happen. The, talking down to didn't happen. So you're made to feel like it was all in your imagination, but you have to be comfortable, confident, and courageous enough to speak out and speak up and speak out so you can be set free from that situation, or else later on you're going to hemorrhage in life, and it comes out in different ways. So that's what I tell people. You can't heal what you don't reveal.
She's gonna have to add me next.
Yeah. Go ahead and write that down, okay? You can't heal what you don't reveal. Amen. Yeah. I want to remind you, as you're hanging out with us tonight during this conversation, you can chime in on the conversation and ask some questions. We'll pop right up for our expert panelists, and they will answer it right away. Really quick, I want to take it over to you, Sierra, because over at Shepherd Pratt, you actually have a virtual crisis walk-in clinic. Let's talk about this process to help us through this time.
Sure. And one of the things that I always kind of like let my clients know when they first begin to see me is that the virtual crisis center is available, not 24/7, but it is available for, I think, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And basically what you would do is you would give us a call and just let us know what's going on. And typically what happens is that a trained professional, a clinician, will kind of take in what you're saying, figure out what's going on, and see if we have even beds available where you can stay, where you can just kind of recuperate. And sometimes you need to get away from the stressor in order to kind of work things out. And so that's what a lot of the walk-in crisis is available for. And a lot of people are afraid of hospitalization because we have this idea that, oh, if we go into the hospital, we're going to be there for the rest of our lives and we're never going to come out. And that's not really how it is. A lot of times, if you do go in inpatient at Shepherd Pratt, it'll probably last for maybe a couple of days, maybe a week. It's usually not that long, just enough time to get you stabilized and back on your feet.
Yeah. I love it, because we all need that, especially being able to walk up and say, I need this help.
Right.
Like, it doesn't, you don't have to worry about, okay, I need to go and find an appointment somewhere. I need to do this, I need to do that, all these different arrangements. I can walk right up to you and say, this is what I need in this moment. I'm going through a crisis right now.
Exactly. And that's, always feel like it's so powerful when people are in that crisis state and able to accept, I'm in a crisis and I need help. And like Miss Cindy said, you can't heal what you don't reveal. You can't determine what's going on until you're able to say, okay, I do need help and I do need to see somebody else for this.
It's ironic because as I hear the both of you have spoken very eloquently about the opportunities, and then there's also the thought process of you can't heal what you don't reveal. But there's that one person that is they're self-intuitive. They're into themselves. They're like, I don't have no problem. I don't even know what you're talking about, right? Ms. Gertie, I would ask, how can they identify within themselves that they do have an issue, even if it's small? Because sometimes the smaller ones manifest to bigger issues.
Yeah.
So what would you say about that?
That's amazing, because a lot of times we, like it's been said, we hide from, we mask things, and we've done it for years. I've done it. And as a caregiver of a loved one with a mental illness, I dance with stress all the time. I'm always dealing with some type of stress because I don't know what my day is going to be like, or what the next day is going to be like. And so what has happened to me with COVID-19 is I'm a facilitator of a family support group, and listening and telling other participants to take care of themselves, do some self-care for themselves. But I realized I wasn't doing it for myself. And the past 2 weeks, I actually called the counselor, set up the appointment, and I've been going, and it has been amazing to me what has been revealed. We think we got it together. We think we're on top of it. We put on the face. We look good. We talk good. But our inside, the things that are going on inside of us is stressing us out, is tearing us down, and we don't need to be carrying those weights. So just being able to make that call and say, wait a minute, I'm hypocritical. I'm telling everybody else go get some help, and I haven't done it. I'm going to do this thing. And it's been just an eye-opener to me of what I need. And just to think that you don't need it, just try that one call, and set up an appointment just to talk to someone. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how when you're in church and the pastor says something, you're like, oh my God, how does he know me? I just feel like in that moment, I'm like, Miss Gertie, now how you know I need to call somebody real quick? I was going through all the stress around here.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah. Akil, you posted something on your page not too long ago, and you were saying that a lot of people don't know the importance of meditation. Why is meditation so important to us?
Meditation is one of the oldest practices, and I like to liken it to like rebooting your computer or your phone. You can't just shut down. Sometimes, you can't just log off. Sometimes you have to actually shut down and then restart it. And that's really what meditation is. It's a rebooting of the self. And when you first begin to meditate, it may be quote unquote hard for you to do it for a long time, but that's really not what it's about. Eckhart Tolle, a famous author, you guys may be familiar with it. He says that every mindful inhalation and exhalation is a meditation. So it's just that pause. A lot of we've been having this conversation, and a lot of us don't think, we think we got it all together. We don't know, but it really is it really starts with you. Like you have to be a little resourceful and really kind of get in tune with the way you're feeling. But yeah, to just like block everything out. Now over the pandemic, I've incorporated, I don't look at my phone before I meditate most days, but that's the goal. I'm not waking up to text. I'm not waking up to hit Twitter, or not before I just sit with some minutes to myself to get myself right so I can begin to tackle the day. Because once the day starts, it kind of takes over. So that's, meditation is extremely important. And when you begin to research, you find a lot of wise men, a lot of great men, they meditated and drank tea. That's what I'm learning. A lot of great men meditate and drink tea. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
So what type of tea? Chamomile? What should we be drinking?
Yes.
It varies. Chamomile is more relaxing and soothing. I'm more into like maybe some of the beneficial herbs. I like soursop, ashwagandha and things like that. But I'm not against chamomile. But I don't want tea to calm me. I just want tea to kind of cleanse me in a sense. So.
Okay.
Listen,
I heard about the ashwagandha.
Yeah.
Y'all see me with my pen and my I'm over here trying not to look down, but I'm taking notes. Okay.
Yo, we gotta take notes. This is gonna be a great night. And it reminds me again,
And
as
I
you're
do want to
watching,
add that
ask questions.
it's so dope that in our communities we're having conversations like this. That's one of the ups
Yeah.
and downs of COVID. You got the brothers and sisters hardcore on sea moss and different herbs and stuff like that. They talk about meditation. We're not afraid, and it's not as taboo for us to talk about going to, talk to a congruent counselor. It's great to talk speaking about that. Like, those are things like we don't have to mask it anymore because eventually it will explode. And what I found, when you kind of peel back some layers and are a little vulnerable and reveal certain things, you find out that you're not the only one.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know what I'm saying? So it'll take a little courage on your part. If you want to fix you, it's mandatory that you do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in therapy, we call that universality, where everyone seems to have really similar experiences with like different things in life. We all have really similar like reactions to trauma and stress, and we all feel like we're alone in this world and we're the only person that's really dealing with these things. And then we enter a therapy session or a group therapy session and we realize, wow, there's a lot of people who have similar issues and similar problems that they're facing.
Well, I know for me personally, because I like you said, Akil, the courage. That's a big word. And I don't even want to skip over that because I know for me, I'll speak personally that I was a former athlete who I felt as though I lost my identity, right? Because when you're not playing anymore, you're not, you don't have that jersey on, those shorts on, you're not lacing up. There's a sense of I'm not a superhero anymore. I don't have my cape on. My jersey was my cape. And so when you go through those daily things of life and you have to figure out, okay, well, what do I like? It's easy and more common to just talk down on yourself without realizing that you're talking down on yourself. Like I was at a place where I kind of just, oh no, I don't want to do that. What am I going to do that for? I'm not doing anything that matters anymore. So, and not realizing that what I was putting out was actually coming back to me because I kept putting it out. So it's very, I find it very, very amazing, Sierra, that you even said, that we have those commonalities in what we're going through, because my personal therapist, I'm pro therapy. Go get you a therapist.
Yeah.
Pro therapy. Okay.
And when you have a platform, it's incumbent that you continue to speak that, because us with the platform, we have to let people know that it is okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have a platform yet, but I'm working on it.
Hey, Sierra, it's coming. I see it on its way. But you know what? This right here is your platform. In this moment, this is all of our platforms to utilize this and to reach people who weren't, we weren't able to reach at a different time. Although I'm on the radio every single day, I might not be able to reach people that Nami Maryland can reach. I might not be able to reach people that Akil can reach through therapy and different things that you're moving with your body. Like, people might not follow me on social media that follows you, Akil. Like, so this is the perfect time for us to reach people that weren't able to reach before. I know, so with Cindy, for you, I want to talk about your healing, because over at your spa, I want to talk about some things that we need to utilize in our everyday routine to help us through healing and help us, get ready from the stress. Like, what you got over there for me?
Grab the soul.
So when Akil mentioned, I'm just going to piggyback off what he said and then launch in. When he said about meditation, right? Church and Christianity have taught us that meditation is a woo-woo thing. That's like a weird thing you don't do. Okay, it's hocus pocus, right? But I always tell people, prayer is talking to God, meditation is listening to God. So we're gonna get it right.
Say it again.
I'm always the one there. God, help me, help me, help me, help me. God, say your prayers. But you don't shut up and listen. So
the horn.
We need a horn. Yeah.
When you stay silent, that's when the answers come. So if you want to meditate, music, shut up. You can put a timer on, sit there in increments, and then get up. So what I actually do is, I'm an intuitive. My gifting in the Christian term would be prophetic. I see, I hear, I feel, and it has very, very heightened sense. So when people walk in, I can typically hear, feel, sense everything that's going on. That's a gifting I've had since I was 5 years old. I ran from it because I was afraid of what other little girls would do, which was calling me weird. But in nursing, I found that I would be able to tell what was going to happen. In fact, before Sierra spoke, I heard, make an impact however small it is. And then she opened her mouth and I don't have a platform. And I'm here to tell you, make an impact however small it is. Okay? Yes. It may seem small to you, but you're making an impact, you're making a difference. So people come in, and as the intuitive there, I'm like the triage nurse. So you come into, we're calling it a day spa, but it's actually a healing center. You're coming in, I assess to see whether you need a massage, whether you need a facial, whether you need a V-steam. V-steam is not just for fun, girls' night out. V-steam will help you release toxins. It'll help you release trauma. So I work with people who have been abused and been through all kinds, if they had sexual assault. The herbs, the steaming, the aura, the ambiance, all help a person connect with their womb and release toxins and also release feelings, emotions, and all that that's been trapped. We do a foot detox because we want to remove toxins from your feet. We have an infrared sauna. So the infrared sauna for weight loss, it also helps increase your immunity, also helps with, have people get in and just mindfulness because we have music in the sauna. And then we have hydrotherapy pool as well. So if you want to get into water, we're on an acre of property. So we have a lot of open area, trees, flowers, plants for people to go outside and just walk on the grass and just woosah, let it all out. So that's what I feel. I had people go stand there and just scream, or been in my room and just said, you've gone through all of this. I just want you to scream. And when they begin to scream, I heard one young lady was so profound, disconnected with her father, was in such pain that she began screaming, and I heard her screaming, "Daddy!" And that was like from 5 years old. She'd held on to being abandoned by her dad and held on to it all these years and was able to release that, broke down, and finally was able to come to herself. So that's what we do. We're going inside to clean you from the inside out. And then your beauty radiates and everything is balanced and all is well. Yeah. So that's what we do.
Oh, that was just so deep. I feel like I get closer and closer to the camera every time. Like, so tell me more.
This pen ain't left my hand yet. I'm like,
no, but this is great. Like, I'm just like Akil was saying, I'm so happy we have conversations like this because it's not normal for us in our culture to have conversations like this. And we need to normalize this.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
So, good. Right 100 times, JayCee, because we all need to take notes. We can all learn from each other tonight,
Very much so. And I hear, and I want to make sure that we illuminate this. There is no such thing as I don't have a platform yet. We always, and that's not just you, Sierra. That's all of us, because guess what? We all thought like that at some point in time.
Yes, definitely.
And so, I love that we get to have these conversations because we still need somebody to help us.
Yeah, definitely true.
And Miss Gertie, listen, with NAMI Maryland, I know you all offer friends and family support.
Yes.
Would you be able to speak on some of the programs, I should say, or some of the ways that it has helped with friends or family support within what you all do?
Sure, definitely. Like I said, I'm a facilitator for the family support group. And so we have our support groups with family members who have loved ones who have mental illness. And so we get together, and that's our solitude where we can come together and talk about what we're going through, what our week's been like, have the floor opened and we fell through it. We walk around on eggshells a lot of times. And so that's the family support group. NAMI also has family to family, and family to family is an 8-course session that takes a family member who has just realized their loved one has a mental illness, or they may have known but didn't know NAMI was there. And they give you They tell you about all the different mental illnesses. They tell you about coping strategies. They tell you how to set limits. They give you information about different medications and their side effects. I say that family to family session saved my life, because when it happens to you, you don't know what to do. You don't have a manual for dummies on how to handle mental illness when it hits your family. And so I knew not what to do. I didn't know anything to do. I felt like I was in a desert with no compass, you know. So, and there was NAMI. But NAMI also had peer support groups for those with mental illness who want to get together and talk and share what they're going through during the week. And they encourage one another. They give each other hope. NAMI has services for military members with PTSD, you know, and they have these sessions for them. So they have a wide variety of programs that are free, that are run by peers. We're not professionals. It's by volunteers who are peers, because we're the expert. We know how it feels. We know what we go through. We're dealing with our loved ones. And so it's run by peers and it's free. And it's a great organization. That's all I can say.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah. Before we get to that point, though, and we head over to NAMI Maryland or Shepherd Pratt, how do we know that we are going through mental issues? How do we know that we are stressed out? Like, what are some signs of it that we can look out for and say, you know what? I think I need help because this is happening.
Right.
Either Sierra or Miss Gertie?
I think that, like, one of the main things that I tell clients is our mind and our body is connected. And so when you are feeling incredibly stressed, a lot of times you feel it physically first. And so, like, a lot of times, like, your back hurts too much, or you find that you can't sleep, or you find that, oh, I'm having a lot of chest pains, but I keep going to the hospital and they keep telling me it's not a heart attack. And they keep telling me it's a panic attack. But all I know is that my chest hurts. And that's usually one of the first signs that maybe I need to talk to somebody. Maybe I need to think more about what's going on internally, both mentally and physically.
Sometimes you're gaining weight or you're losing weight. You know,
that's a good one too.
Or, you have an interest or activity that you loved, and all of a sudden you're not loving it anymore. You're pulling away from it. You know, that push isn't there anymore. Frequent headaches are signs that you're stressed. They're stressed.
Yes.
That's the tricky thing about stress, and it reveals itself in various ways. I mean, sometimes it is pain, sometimes it is a loss of appetite, and like even just I think like maybe Friday, I was like, man, like with that Derek Chauvin trial, and then after it was over, all the other kids like Nakia, and you find yourself not wanting to watch, you know, the full videos that Sean King posted, like. And then you got to do a conference call for your job. Like, that's stress. And we have to constantly carry that. But now our communities are realizing that, you know what, like, we need a mental break, yo. Like, no, I'm not sick. But I mean, you know, I seen a dude get murdered on TV. I seen a trial where the system tried to say there was everything under the sun except for him, somebody kneeling on his neck for 9 minutes and 25 seconds. It's, you know, so it's a lot that we're going through, and oftentimes you might not recognize it, you know, but that's where when you kind of pull away and just kind of stop, turn off the TV, turn off the music, and just kind of like breathe, things will become clearer. You know, like Cindy said, it's when you take time to listen, you know.
Akil, I want to stay with you real quick because I'm very connected with like schools, right? Colleges and high schools, even down to middle school. And I'm very interested in your thoughts on if yoga should be considered in schools.
Absolutely.
Because of the lack of attention that is given to mental health in the school systems. And so when they come out, they don't know what to call it. Like we said before, like all of you all have said, as far as we don't know what the form of stress really is, but we're going to the doctor, and so that's how we start building out the thought process. Well, the doctor don't know what they're talking about. And then we come back and we're like, I still have the same issue. So I'm curious to know what your thought process is on yoga being in schools, especially in urban communities.
It absolutely should be. I currently have a program, Mastering Me, in Howard County Community Public Schools. So I'm currently, and it's expanding. Like now, I need 30 teachers just for the month of July for their summer school. You know, we're having conversations to begin again in October to May, and I've started it about maybe 2 years ago. And the students are absolutely receptive. I've taught yoga. I'm a member of the Prison Yoga Project, so I've taught yoga in a federal correctional institution, volunteer based. We can't prevent stress and things that occur to us, but we can learn to manage how we respond to them and how we deal with them. And yoga, what it does teaches you, it gives you a sense of emotional intelligence, where you know, like, you know what, I've been a little jumpy today, I've been short, let me not go to that meeting, or let me take some time out and not deal with my kids, because again, I realize that, you know what, I'm not in a good place right now. So absolutely, in order to begin to introduce people to learn to about how to manage their emotions, it absolutely should be taught in schools. And actually, the Dalai Lama, he has this quote: if every child in the world, if every 8-year-old child in the world were taught meditation, we'd eradicate a lot of societal ills. If you started that early, every child in the world, 8 years old, we would eradicate a lot of the levels of jealousy, a lot of the levels of violence, and the other ills that face society. So, absolutely.
Because I feel like you can't learn peace and you can't learn how to get rid of stress sometimes by other people. You have to figure out what works for you. And you know, with kids, they're learning from their parents. Oh, I see my mom yelling, so I feel like I need to yell. But if they had the meditation and forms like that, they can say, you know what? I know my mom yells, but let me just go sit down really quick and just.
Mom, why don't you try and calm down? Like it was a beautiful thing about maybe last month. It was this little boy. He had to be maybe 8. His little brother was like 5, and he just breathe. He said,
I saw that.
It was on Instagram. And I was like, and that's really what it is. It's just that pause. It's just that before you respond, if you can just, you know, you say count to 10, count. If you can just pause. That's difficult though. And I'll fall victim to that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But it's just part of it, you know?
Right. I mean, that's logically life. Like, you know, we don't always get it right, but to have the practice that we can resort back to. And, you know, Miss Cindy, they can definitely come to your spa so that way they can resort back to
Absolutely. So the question posed was how to know if you are at your wit's end or getting close to a breakdown. When you pull into the McDonald's drive-thru and they say they're out of milkshake and you're hooping and hollering and wailing, you should know there's a problem.
That is the worst moment though.
when the screen is not working.
And it's, and it feels traumatic when you are blowing things out of proportion. They seem bigger than what they are. It means that you are going through internal turmoil. When you want to just lay in the bed all day long and not come out, that is showing that you are becoming depressed. You are experiencing a form of depression. Because I always tell people that what typically happens is you have oppression. Okay, you have all the turmoil outside. Then it turns to depression. Okay, and then whatever entities, beings, whatever it is you internalize now become possession. Whatever it is now has got a hold on you, and you are acting it out. You're lashing out. You're getting angry. You're not even thinking rationally. And when that comes down to it, is you have to really look at yourself. And if you can't see and other people are pointing out to you, it means you're bleeding all over the place. You're just hemorrhaging everywhere, emotionally, spiritually. And you have to pull back and get yourself together. You may want to, go and visit Miss Sierra, Miss Gertie, take some yoga classes and woo-saw it out, or you may want to come in and get your whole soul cleansed. Clear it all out. But you have to do something. And there's intervention out there for people. They just have to express it. I have a problem, because we're all human. Body, mind, and there's a soul in there. So people sometimes say, I feel tired. I don't want to be here anymore. That's your soul. It's tired. It's tired. So you got to go back in and do the work so you can re-energize and strengthen it. Yeah. And that's why you love the candles, because your soul craves love and light. It wants light.
That's what it is. And I am tired.
Light in a dark world. Yes.
Listen, this conversation would not be possible without our sponsors. So really quick, I want to thank NAMI Maryland and Shepherd Path for being a part of this conversation tonight, because this is something we all need. So thank you so much. As you are watching and joining us tonight for this conversation, do not forget, you can ask whatever question you feel like your heart desires. If you need help, if you want to go to the spa, if you want to do some yoga, whatever it is, type in right here in the comment section if you're on Facebook, 92q.com or YouTube, and we'll put it right up on the screen and I'll get your questions answered.
Yes. Now, I read something, because I've been trying to do this book challenge. And I had to take away the wording of I'm not a reader to I just don't read a lot. Okay. I'm trying to learn wording. Now this is a general question. And I want to pose it to everyone. What would you say? Because sometimes we don't take heed to what we say and how we put it out. What are some different ways we can say certain things that we generally say automatically that we don't realize we're saying them, and we then internalize, and then we get what we receive based upon what we put out? So what are some things? And Sierra, I'll start with you if you want to answer. What are some ways we can combat negative connotation of talking to ourselves?
Okay, so it's funny that you say that, because that's a big part of what I do when I'm doing therapy with people, because a lot of times we don't realize how negative our internal monologue is. And a lot of times people will say things like, oh man, I can't believe I messed it up. I'm so stupid. And one of the things we say is like, hey, challenge that idea that you're stupid. Maybe you aren't stupid. Maybe you just made a mistake. And what are some other people who've made mistakes? Can you think of people who you love and who you feel are good people who have made mistakes? And what can you do from there? Like, is it normal to make mistakes? Yeah. So does it make you a stupid person? No. And a lot of times it starts with simple things like that. And then as you practice, it grows and grows until you can really see like, wow, I have been really talking really badly about myself. And I need to change that.
I want to speak to that.
Go ahead. Floor is open.
That's a dope question. And you really have to be careful how you talk to yourself. And in teacher training, a good way to how they explained it to us, you don't take ownership of it. It's kind of like, as opposed to saying I'm depressed, don't own that. Say this is depression that you're experiencing, kind of, because everybody goes through. So I'm gonna say I'm depressed. Look, you know what? This is depression. And when you approach it from that POV, it's kind of like, all right, well, Akia was talking about doing some yoga. Let me go holler at Miss Cindy, or Miss Curry, that type of thing. So it removes the attachment of you to that negative concept, is what it does.
Yeah.
Again, everybody experiences it. So
there's always a positive to a negative.
Yes.
And so, we walk around, and I was kind of antsy about this evening, and I was saying, I don't know how this is going to work. I'm not going to be able to do it. And walk by a store up where Trader Joe's is, and there was this little box, and it had "I am enough." It spoke to me. It spoke to me. I went in and bought it. I didn't care how much it was going to cost. It's like, oh, I'm getting that just so I can remind myself that I am enough. I can do it. And I can share. I can be transparent and not fear what other people are going to think. I'm okay. And so it's just keep affirming who you are. I'm okay. It's good. This is a good day. I have a saying on my wall, I awakened. Is that not a wonderful statement? So in the morning, if I can get up and I've awakened, is that not wonderful?
Mm-hmm.
It's how we look at life and how we look at ourselves. We got to just turn it around. Every negative has a positive.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I love that. Miss Cindy.
Wow. Our words create our world. And, we always, in the Christian community saying, life and death is in the power of the tongue. People rattle it off, but they don't really understand what it means is that everything you speak is creating something. It's crystallizing into solid form. So we have to watch how we talk to our children, because mothers will sometimes curse out their children and say all kinds of things. And as the child develops, that's what they identify with and connect with. Women, the way we talk to men, we have to kind of watch that dialogue, and the same with how men talk to women. But one of the things that I realized is that the two contexts, to put this in perspective, it's also not necessarily what you say, but how you say it. Because I can turn around with my girlfriend yelling, "Hey girl, you're so crazy." And then in the next minute, "You are crazy."
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Using the same word, but in a different context.
Mm-hmm.
So it's how we are reacting with people or interacting with people, and how we're using these words as well, that also determine how they're perceived and how they're taken in by others.
Yeah. That's why sometimes I don't like texting, because that could be something totally different. You know what I mean? You can get a whole different type of vibe from a text versus picking up the phone. And I wasn't even saying what you thought I was saying over text. So now you all stressed out in your feelings because you thought I was being so nasty and so rude, and I really was trying to have a great day.
Right.
So yeah, I agree with you 100%. I actually seen something that said some stress is good for us because it helps us respond to changes in life. Do y'all agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
In
Yes.
psychology, it's called eustress.
I don't want to call it stress. You can be motivated, you can be ambitious, you can be driven, but you ain't got to be stressed.
So Sierra agrees.
It's kind of like in our business. Like, if somebody's late and 9 people are screaming they're late, I'm not going to be the 10th. They're late. Can we tape? Can we troubleshoot? I don't, and again, I'm not afraid of stress, and I'm not afraid of things being a little bit difficult, but I don't know that I want to tell myself that some stress is good, so it's kind of how I talk.
Sierra, what you think?
Yeah, right. I'll be with it.
Well, in psychology, we call it eustress, which is EU and then stress. And it's stress that happens from positive things. Like this evening, for example, like I was extremely stressed out about this, but mainly because I'm getting nervous about talking in front of people, but it's a positive thing. So I'm like, okay, this is something it's stressing me out. It's making me feel a little nervous, but this is something that's really important to me. Therefore, I have to keep going. And sometimes that stress can be a motivating force. I know from a personal standpoint, there's a lot of times where I've had anger issues, and I've learned to kind of convert my anger into something a bit more constructive. So instead of getting upset and throwing something or screaming at people, I'm like, you know what? I'm really angry at this. That means something needs to change. I'm really stressed about this. That means something needs to change. Therefore, go out and do the change. And so it's been definitely really motivating for me. It's not for everybody, definitely. But for me, it's been, you can spin it in a positive way. Like, again, like Miss Cindy said, every negative has a positive, and every positive has a negative. Every strength is a weakness. Every weakness is a strength. And as long as you kind of think about it, it depends on how you think about it and how you treat it.
Nice. That's great. Them thoughts becoming things is real. Okay?
Yeah. And we all need a little pressure, because I was a nurse for 13 years. I was working at Bon Secours, worked at St. Agnes, and, hated my job. I call it my job, the struggle. And, it was getting worse and worse and worse by the day. And finally, one day I'm going to church. I'm going to work rather. I heard a church service that change your focus and change your future. So that's what lit the Bunsen burner. So we all need a little pressure to change our circumstances. Otherwise, we're going to be lackadaisical, laid back. Oh, well, all is good. All is well in my world. If you're triggered by it, then do something to change it. Yep. You know, and that's what should be at the forefront of our minds, because we can't just let it slip away. So if you're bothered by, well, something that's gone on in your family, something that someone said, something that, you know what, express it, share it, get it off your chest so you're not stressed and bogged down by it. Because trust me, what doesn't come out in the wash will come out in the rain. Somehow it will come out. Yeah. And someone else is going to be, you know, there's a saying, and I tell people that you have to make sure that you share this with people, or else you will hemorrhage on the people who didn't cut you. You know, you bleed on the people who didn't cut you. So make sure you address who it is, who said what, and let them know in a nice way if you can. That, you know, what you said upset me, or, you know, such and such, and then you let go of it.
Yeah, I really wanted to follow up with you too, Cindy, because you're a businessman. So the amount of stress that you incur automatically, right? Like, you know that there's gonna be something there. Like, every day might not be 100%. If you get 100% day, you're screaming, right? And so I would love for you to speak on how you deal with it as a business owner, because this pandemic, statistics have shown that this pandemic has birthed over 100 million entrepreneurs.
Wow.
So now whether that number stays like that is the thing. But 100 million new companies were born out of the pandemic. So I'm very curious, because you've been in this before this pandemic hit. How are you dealing with stress? How are you dealing with your stressors before the pandemic, and then now having to shift into a whole new norm?
So my business has 3 components, and I actually am a manufacturer of a hair care brand. My brand is in Sally's. My brand is also, we have vending machines that we franchise out in there. Have one in the military, and then we have one in the airport. What I do now is actually the least stressful, because I enjoy being in that place. When I'm driving up to Upper Cove, the drive is beautiful. I'm getting away from everyone, and I get a chance to sit there and have people release and let go of what's going on with them. And so that's it, because it's my soul's work and what I was destined to do. It's not as hard as when I'm with my product and they call and say, well, did this order ship yet? Did this go here? And does this go in? That's a whole nother, it's like, ooh. And then when I go into this, you know, people told me, well, you could be out there doing your products. And I said, I enjoy being this. Why? Because I'm in my healing room, waterfall is on, music is on, massage table there, and I'm getting a chance to listen and talk to the person, get them on my table, lay hands on them. And honey, when they're being healed, I'm being healed too. Come on. Because it's therapy. Yeah, it's therapy for me and therapy for them. So that part of my business is like, it's a flow. It's effortless. It comes second nature because it's what I was called to do. But the other stuff gives me that vibe, the deadlines, the staff, you know. And I think that you get to a certain age, you know, and I'm 52 now. And when I was 35, I started my first salon as 35. 35, running a hair salon was nothing but drama. This one weave didn't come out right. This one's color didn't come out right. You've got them not coming to work on time. You got all this commotion going. And this time around, I'm like, you know what? I'm the head healer in this place. This thing flows because I sit at the head and everything has to flow downwards so we have peace. People are coming here for peace. You don't want peace? Guess what? This ain't the place for you to work. So it's a different mentality now where I am than where I was before, where I was being tortured and tormented by my staff. Yep.
But like she needed.
But that speaks volumes though, because a lot of people are in jobs that they absolutely hate. Like I hate to go to a restaurant or something like that or a store and they don't speak. or like they're just mad. Like the energy is just bad. So I'm just, if you're not somewhere that you want to be, please remove yourself, because it causes stress on ourselves and the people that are coming to spend their money. Like, you know, it's a whole lot.
Yes. You have to love what you do, love the people that you do it with, and the people you do it for. And if you don't, you're in the wrong place.
Wow.
Great. Miss Gertie, NAMI Maryland is actually back doing something, the NAMICon 2021. Let's talk about that.
Our NAMI Walk. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yep, the
NAMI Walk is May 22nd, and it's Walk Your Way. So however you want to do the fundraiser for NAMI of walking, you may not walk. Some are doing yoga sessions. Some are painting, you know, having get-togethers and painting. So it's doing it your way, however you want to do it. Look, I have my poster, and it's, like I said, Saturday the 22nd, and it's just do it your way. But it is one of the major fundraisers for NAMI, and we just have a good time. We used to get down at the harbor, and when we could get together. Last year was our first year of doing it virtual, and it was very successful. And I just got some friends together, and we went walking.
No, that's right.
So it's great. Thank you for bringing that up, because that's big.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I wanted to, because things like that, not only can we help NAMI and everything NAMI is doing for our culture and our community, but also we can get some good walking in. Because we talked about that when you start this conversation. We can get outside, get a breath of fresh air, and like help somebody while we're doing it. So it always feels good, you know?
That's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try with my socks first before I go to my feet.
They said barefoot outside.
We got to graduate over time.
Yes.
So we have less than 5 minutes left. Let's talk about some things and resources that you can provide to people, you know, people who just kind of chiming in too. And JayCee, I also want, because JayCee does a lot too as well. So as we go through this, JayCee, I want you to be the last person, because she really does incorporate a lot with people and helps them as well mentally. So Sierra, let's start with you first.
So obviously the first resource is Shepherd Pratt itself. We have, our website is really easy to access. It's actually really user friendly. And because I've navigated it myself to find stuff for clients. And obviously the walk-in crisis is one of the most important things. Like if you're dealing with anything that makes you feel as though you want to give up completely, please do reach out to us. And again, it's all available on the website. And also, if you just want a therapist, like, again, I think it's shepherdpratt.org, and you just reach out, give us a call, and our intake specialist will help you get set up with a therapist who best fits your needs.
Want me to go next?
Okay. I was just gonna try to like go around the box like this, like a little snake.
Where we going? Okay, Akil, you got it.
Oh, okay. Well, you can follow me on Instagram at Conscious Crusade, and also on my YouTube page at Conscious Crusade, where I have some meditation and also yoga videos. But really, it's incumbent upon you, like your journey to bliss or peace. It starts with you. And Google is your friend. Hashtag I need help for depression. I need help for what have you. And also, I'm taking a course, and I just it's a mantra that just stuck with me. It's always take massive imperfect action. Like just go. Always take massive imperfect action. And when you walk in your north, in your alignment, you'll find that things will reveal themselves to you, because they've already happened to everybody. When you walk in your space and place, things will begin to reveal themselves to you.
Yeah.
Miss Gertie.
Yes. You can contact NAMI through NAMIMD.org, and that website will have all the different webinars. NAMI have webinars. They have teleconferences. any type of resource that you're looking for, you will probably find it on that website. And I just wanted to put a plug in for NAMI. Maryland went in partnership with the state of Maryland, and we are actually doing COVID Connect support groups now for survivors of COVID. Wow. And it has been kicked off the ground, and we're rolling with it. So there's a lot of resources out on NAMIMD.org.
I love it. Miss Cindy, we have less than 30 seconds left.
All right, can't put a price tag on peace of mind. It's time to take the mask off, get your soul cleansed. Come see us at the Diva Day Spa MD, 1-800-929-4057, 410-429-4729. And we are here to help heal your mind, body, and soul.
I know that's right. JayCee, give them that social media so they can follow you and get some good juice.
Hey man, you know, the ultimate female host, JayCee. Follow me at starring JayCee every single time I end my show, which you can catch every midday, Sunday, 10 to 3 p.m. Listen, I ended what is called a JayCee superfood. And that right there will start your week off the right way. It's my daily motivation, as Persia likes to call the juice. So yeah. Make sure you tune in, chime in, and also you follow me. You go get that daily motivation per usual.
And of course, follow me at Persia Nicole. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Shepherd Pratt, thank you so much. NAMI Maryland, thank you so much. Have an amazing night.
Thank you, too.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.